about great way finances, and we're going to talk about money matters. Does anybody know about money matters? So far, I'm learning, and I'll tell you what I learned so far, how to be wise. Because the Bible says a wise man leave inheritance for their children. So I'm learning how to be wise, and every day I'm getting better at it, what I should do, and the sacrifice that I have to make now for my grandchildren. So if I were you, when you're listening, listen so you can get wise, you can get wisdom. Solomon had everything he could ever want on this earth. And the one thing that he asked God for was for wisdom.
Mm.
You see, the fool says in his heart, there is no God. But the Bible talk about the same fool. He says, if he closes his mouth, he's wise. He's considered to be wise.
Mm.
So let's get knowledge and get knowledge in everything, not even in the word of God, but in our physical life, in our social life, in our marital life, in our single life, whatsoever life you are in right now, get knowledge. And with knowledge, get understanding. So that's a nugget for today. And I'll turn right over to Timothy, and he will tell you about money, tell us about money matters. So when you see my eyes go like this, that means I learned something great. Because
Yeah.
go like, what? Does that exist? Damn it exists.
Hallelujah. Good afternoon, Tex. You are looking so beautiful. Oh
Oh,
my God. I can see the glory of God radiating all over you.
thank you. Thank
Bless
you.
God for your life. And, it's always a very, um, very interesting time and great pleasure to be on this show. Um, I before I start something, I don't know, I am somebody that I have a very busy schedule. I my all day is usually, coming out of the day and saying, "Oh my God, I forgot to do this, that." And guess what? I don't know whether anybody has experienced this before. Um, those days when we go to work very early, you know that normally a lot of people set alarm clock, but there are some people when the time comes for them to wake up, right, to go to work, you know that they will just wake up. They will just wake up at the same time. Do you know that actually the time for this meeting is almost one of the only thing that happens to me naturally that way. I don't have any, I don't have any reminder or anything. Okay. But whatever it will be, um, whatever I might be doing, whatever schedule I will be, when it is Tuesday, 12 to 1 and Friday 12 to 1. It's very natural. I don't have any schedule, I don't have any calendar, I don't have any, just for you to know. So it's just, I'm just sharing that to tell you how valuable and how important, you know, the vision that we are sharing, on this platform is to us. It's very important. Okay. So again, good afternoon, all our viewers. It's nice to see you, to hear and from everybody to see that you are doing well. We appreciate you always joining this medium by 12 to 1 on Tuesday and Friday. It has really been a blessing to us, to be able to share. And we also learn, right? We also learn a lot when we meet you and we share those things and we hear from you as well. Okay. So my name is Timothy, and it's always a great pleasure to be here from Greatway Financial. And what do we do? Well, the only thing we do is we try to educate families, right? We try to talk about those very key, important foundation and education that you should know about. Well, is there any good thing? Is there any benefit in doing all those things? Absolutely, yes. The benefit to you and us as well is what we call the power of choice. Okay. So what does that mean? It simply means that whatever we say, whatever music we play here, the long and short of the story is that we want you to be financially better than what you are today. We want you to be, you have a lot of potential. We want you to explore those potential. And what we do tell you is, you have option A to Z, which one is better for you, then you decide and you take that decision and do what's best for your family. Okay. Do you want to do what is best for the government? Well, absolutely yes. Pay them the taxes, right? They will definitely, be very happy. The government will develop, will see money to spend for development. Yes, so that is fine. But do you want to do something that will benefit, that will make you happy? Yes, absolutely yes. Listen to the right education and take the right decision. Okay, for you and your family. So we appreciate you any day, anytime you join us. And those of us who cannot even join during this time, we encourage you to go back, and listen to some of those sharings we have had in the past. And feel free to reach out if you have any question. And we'll be very happy to sit down with you and have this one-on-one conversation, which is, it's not, you don't have any obligation, it's non-obligatory. And all what we want to do is that we want to direct you in the right, in the right course, in the right path, of helping you to make that financial decision. Even if you talk to us and we say, okay, once we, this is the only meeting I want to have, we don't keep your numbers, we don't call you, we don't call you, unless you need something from us. We don't, or we are really, really busy. Okay. So we have a lot of things going on, my partner, Mr. Olu, he has been saying that, oh my God, I need to come on this show. And
tell him he abandoned me, and I'm not happy.
Yes, okay, but all right, so that is very good. But let me give you one of the reason. So Mr. Olu, okay, that you know very well, okay. Mr. Olu is committed to training people,
Oh,
to do. So just for you to know, he will come on the call. Mr. Olu is now a senior vice president at Creatway. Okay.
wow.
Yes. So he is a really top shot, right? So he doesn't, what he do now is, I'm in a level now where I can come, I can evangelize this, this mission. But there are some people that are even just still learning to get their feet into financial services and so on and so forth. So he is really committed to, at this point, his daily job is strictly executive, and he is trying to nurture people, to learn more. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Probably when you have Timothy as well on this platform, make very good use of the opportunity, because maybe, a time will come, he's already saying, okay, I think you also need to start doing more of this and that. Okay. So, but we are always happy because we know that we have a great family.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray that God will help us, God will grow us together, and we would all, be successful in our financial endeavors. Okay. So let's go into, before we go into what I have for you today, I want to make a very quick recap about what we said in the last two presentations we had. And guess what? You will see that now we are beginning to connect things together, because we have a more, systematic and programmed schedule about what we want to go through. At the end of, this information that we are sharing with you, you will be rich enough to take a lot of wonderful decision, that can transform your financial situation, that can even give you the courage to explore a lot of opportunities in the future. That's our goal. So So it's important for us to talk about what we learned the last time, because we always build on that. We always be one step ahead, imagine on those things. So one of the things we talk about in the last two lectures was wealth as a formula, right? Everybody knows that now. Whether you like it or not, the wealthy people knows that there's a formula behind what they do. And what they do is that they get money, right? And they put that money into use, right? And they give it some time, okay? Sometimes in the current world today, a lot of people see that there are people that tells you that your money, if you put your money here, it can be doubled, okay? Within 3 days, within 24 hours, within 1 week, within 1 month, or triple, right? I think text my warrant, that people get a lot of things like that. It may be internet fraud, it may even be physical ones that we have heard, Ponzi schemes and all that exist before. Do you know what that means? People don't understand. That is the power of the wealth formula. They are telling you that if you give this money they will tell you over 3 hours, over 1 day, over 1 week, it will multiply to this. So that is the formula of wealth. So your money plus time. But this here on this platform, we are not going to tell you it's going to be 1 week or 1 month or even 1 year. Do you know what we'll tell you? We tell you over time, years, long term. Long term, if you want to build great, very strong wealth over time. Okay. You buy a property, buy a house and probably keep it for 50 years, right? And maybe by that time you have passed that, house to maybe the second or third generation, right? That is time, money and time. You see how we look at it? So now, when you determine the number of time you want to apply to that money, then what is the other thing that you should very much put into consideration? You should think about the rate of return, right? What is the rate of return? The rate of return is the rate at which your money is going to grow. Okay. We have said it countless of time on this platform. If you go to the bank today and you say, hey, bank, I have this $10,000 and I want to put it here and I want this money to grow over time. Okay. Let's say over 2 years, right? I want this $10,000 to grow. What is the rate of return you have for me? Guess what? The bank is going to tell you, yes, we have a rate of return for you. And they're going to tell you what? 2%. If you are lucky. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you are a very good financial student on this platform, we have talked about one rule called the rule of 72. Take 72, divide it by the rate of return the bank is giving you. What is that? 72 divided by 2 is what? Is 36. Guess what? That $10,000, it will take 36 years for it to grow to 20,000. I will repeat that. Take 72, divide it by the rate of return, which is 2%, is 36 years. Convert it to years. That will be the amount of time it will take for your money to double. So if it is 10,000 in 36 years, that is when that money will double to 20,000. So that is the power of rate of return. Okay. So what is the long and short of the message? Get the best rate of return. What is the best rate of return? Talk to us, right? Ask us. What type of rate of returns can we have? Do you know why we are asking you to talk to us? The reason is simple. Somebody can promise you that they will double your money, in 3 years, and then you will discover that you don't have any money or even go into debt. Okay. But somebody might promise you that I will give you 8%, I will give you 10%, right? You may say, okay, if you give me 10%, that means that it's going to take how many years? For example, okay, it's going to take, probably around 6 or 7 years before that money doubles. But guess what? you are building a very strong wealth, because what you need to do is to replicate that and even teach the next generation how to do that, right? So that is how it works. So let's talk about, after you know the rate of return on your wealth formula, what are the two most important things that you need to take in factor, you need to put into this formula? Very, very important. Number one is Mr. Tax. Okay. Yes, Mr. Tax. Taxes can ruin
Mr.
everything.
That I don't like.
Hmm?
Mr. Tax that I don't like.
Well, nobody likes Mr. Tax, right? So, but please understand, if you listen to us on this platform, I want to give you one important information. Make sure you understand the tax strategies that you have and the options that you have and how to make it better. It's very, very good. It's a very, very common thing that anybody should do. Okay, it's very good. It helps you a lot. Right? Then what is the other thing that you need to be, to take into cognizance of? And before I say the second thing, that tax, believe you me, it is in our control to some extent. Okay, you can determine the amount of taxes you want to pay in Canada. Yes, you can say it publicly. You can go to the government and say, I want to determine the amount of tax I want to pay you. Yes, it's possible. It is not a secret. Is very is legal, 100% to determine that. Okay, so, and one of the way you can do that, we'll talk about it later on, is being a business owner. We'll talk about it later. But here is what I want to tell you. You have that in your control. But the one you don't have under your belt, you and I, is inflation. Okay. A lot of us know what the inflationary numbers are now. They are not looking very good, right? Each time I don't know whether people like me are conscious of things like that, but each time I have to buy a gas now, I am conscious of the fact that it is no longer, the gas I used to buy that is around $100 to $110 anymore, because it's now, and I'm talking about the regular. So when I buy the premium, you know what I'm talking about, right? So it's very close to almost double. So you will know that, yes. So it's a lot of different. So those are the things that we need to know. Inflation is a real steal, is a real bite on
It is.
Yes, on of money. And guess what? You want to say something?
I went to the supermarket, was it last week?
Right.
And I swear I'm not gonna go back to the supermarket. I bought about what? About 4 or 5 items. And when she said was 109, I automatically said, "You lie." Because she watched me. We started to laugh because I could not. I had nothing there for $40. And she says 109. So the guy in the back of me, he's had to tell his wife, let's put back. Take what you really need. Not what you want to have. Take what you really need. So I stood up there, we were laughing. His thing come up to $500. I go like, that's it.
No
I'm
way.
going into fasting.
Yeah.
So back then, you used to pay for gas, what, like 40 cents, 47 cents for gas. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just the regular. I'm talking about the second grade, like the 98th grade. But now, oof. Gas is like, yeah.
Exactly. Thanks for sharing, thanks, Manuel. And guess what? Let me put out this very clear education out to people that are listening to us. A lot of us, we are not economists, right? But if you understand finance, it's really good. Do you know why? Because a lot of us might be wondering, why is the same cookies that we buy in the store that, why is it now? This is the number one. Anytime gas is going up, please, everybody knows that there is inflation. Do you know why? Because everything is connected to gas, it's connected to logistic transportation. That is the reason, right? I was looking for a service of somebody, during the week. I need their service, and the service have to do with staging. They will stage a house or something like that. And I called them, and they were giving me the prices, the quotation. And I asked them one simple question. I told them, why is it that a lot of these prices have increased? And that is what they told me simply. They said, because the gas is expensive now. So out of the whole thing, the cost of logistics to get them to take what they need to go to, they don't need more manpower. Can you imagine? They don't need additional resources because they have it, but because they need to,
Yes.
right. So those are the things. So please, in order for you to work with your work formula very well, understand inflation. So somebody will ask, what can I do to make to control inflation? Yes, the only thing you can do is that you can't hold it, you don't have control over it, but you can beat inflation. So if you are here today and you have investment and you have money in the bank and you have any money, and that money is sitting down there, in your account, and is not working for you, then there's a big problem. Imagine, let me give you a very simple, the simplest calculation, the simplest analogy. In 2020, in fall 2020, everybody knows that towards the end of the year, the cost of a gas, regular gas, dropped to around $80 because of COVID. How many people remember that? Textman Warren, did you remember that during COVID-19 in 2020, gas came to one of the lowest that in history, like in the past 10 or 15 years, that was what the prices of gas is. I bought gas at $80. Okay. So imagine if I have $100, just to explain, if I have $100, in my account, and I use it to buy that gas, can you imagine the number of liters I'm going to get at $80? Now, if I take the same $100 and that gas is now $160, do you see? That is exactly what inflation is. So what can I do? If I keep that $100, then it will buy less gas today. But assuming that I have invested that $100 as well, mind you, I'm telling you that it may take time before your money grows. But if you have put your money in real estate 2 years ago, your money would have grown by more than 50%, just like that. So investment is very important. Putting your money in the right place. It's very important. Okay.
They have, and people know they're doing like the Bitcoins.
Yes. So, of course, we wanted to bring somebody
that is growing too. So how do you do it? They say less than $1, less than this, you can start and it grows.
Correct. So crypto has its own investment risk, right? Which we want people to be very educated about. So we have somebody very, very passionate, and she's a child of God as well, that we want to bring to speak about that. If we want to bring her on this platform, maybe we can do that. I was expecting maybe we can do it on a Saturday, but let me know. Okay, just let me know if you want me to bring somebody to talk about that. If there are people that are really interested to know, yes, we can do that. We have spoken to her. So
we could do that advertisement for Friday.
Okay, yes, we will try whether we can get on Friday. Okay. Now, finally, before we go into the quick presentation of today, the final thing I want to talk about is in respect to what we just mentioned about how will you make your wealth formula to be of benefit, to grow. And we talked about the different factors, right, in the equation. Now, all what we are saying boils down to, if you now have this money, where will you put it? So that's what brought us to, where do you put your money today? Okay, where does your money go? Is it in the checking account that remains there and inflation beats that money? Or is it in stock market, which is risky, but at least your money is growing, is dropping, is growing. If it grows, well, is good for you. You take it, you pay taxes. Or is it in an RRSP? Where is your money? Whereby you contribute the money to the day, you sow that seed. But when you want to reap the fruits, the government is going to come and take their shares from it, okay? Pay the taxes. Or you want to buy an insured retirement plan, for example, that we talk about, that will allow you to get a tax-free lifetime income and a survivor benefit to your loved ones if at all you pass away. Or you want to do a tax-free savings account. Where are you putting your money will be our topics, for the rest of this month. Where are you keeping your money? So let's talk about where you want to keep your money. Let's talk again about tax-free savings accounts, right? Don't forget, we said the goal is we want to link everything up. We want to, dish out the information to you in such a way that it makes sense. So where are you keeping your money today in order to make your wealth formula work for you? So we will talk about tax-free savings account today. Okay. So let me share my screen and let's talk about tax-free savings account. Okay. All right. So once again, we always talk about the importance of why we should know as much as possible, and knowing about tax-free savings account is very important. So just as usual, we want you as part of this family and an audience to know that the information we are sharing on this platform is for the general purpose of getting the right education. We want you to understand financial concept, retirement planning. When I got into the financial, industry years back, one of the questions I asked myself is, Timothy, what do you know if you don't understand taxation, if you don't understand investment, if you don't understand how money works? Then what do you understand? Because what you go and do is you try to make money, but you don't understand money. You see, how many people are in that shoe today, right? So that is why the way I started thinking, and it was really, really very helpful, right? Statistics is showing that Canadians have been facing a lot of financial challenges. Let me tell you, it is not just today, okay? It is not just the inflation that has began to build since the end of last year to between 4.7 to 7.0 or something that is the problem. Canadian has always faced financial challenges, right? And statistics is showing that the people who at some point cannot do the most work, cannot do 4 jobs, cannot do 3 jobs. They are the people that actually are more at risk, right? They are more at risk because they don't have all the flexibility that somebody like me have today. So, and why do we find ourselves in that position? It's simply because most Canadians, more than 1/3 of Canadians, don't have savings or have investments today. And we talked about it. We talked about inflation. We talked about how important it is to grow your money in order to beat inflation, right? So if you don't have any investment today, then it means that you will continue to work for money, work for money, work for money, and until probably one day you are called home. Okay, do you want to change the narrative? Definitely yes, right? Also, we talked about this today. A lot of people, even in the private sectors, they don't have employer-funded pension plan. So if you are an individual that is not employed today, you have to be very, very strategic about planning for your retirement. And you need a lot of financial education, okay? Everybody needs to, but of course, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your family, right? So what about those people that are actually working, those of us that are employed? So most companies have changed to defined contribution plan. There are 2 types of pension plan: defined contribution plan and defined benefit plan. In defined contribution plan, we've talked about it in one of our presentation, is when your employer contributes a certain amount on your behalf, and they will guarantee that when you retire, this is the amount you will get. Okay, so I start working today. They said, Timothy, if you work for us for 30 years, this is the amount we would have contributed into your retirement, and this is how much you will start getting. That is already gone. Okay, it's an old school. So for most people, and for new people, young people that are getting into the market, what they do is that the employer say, I will contribute $10, then you will contribute $10. And then we put that $10, we give it to, we use it to buy RBC shares, okay, or any investment. And guess what? They will tell you, if the money grows, as projected, okay, Mr. Timothy, good luck. We congratulate you. However, if the money doesn't grow as expected, Mr. Timothy, you are on your own. Okay, so RRSP contribution, it's one of the retirement investment vehicle in Canada, but a lot of people at an average only contribute $55,000 into that savings account. And when you want to get the money, it is still tax deferred, which means that the government is still going to take their tax. So is that what you want? Yeah, it's up to you. 67% of Canadians are financially weak at the age of retirement. Why? It means that they don't have enough financial resources. They have to depend on their family. They have to even continue to work at the age of retirement. And my question to anybody is out there today is, when do you want to stop working for money? So we want to understand the learning outcomes of this afternoon. I'm going to move very quickly is that we want to understand tax-free savings account to know what it is. We want to know the different type of tax-free savings account and the investment, and we want to know how to open a tax-free savings account. Okay. We want to know what are the contribution limits and what are the penalties. Okay. So tax-free savings account was introduced by the government of Canada in 2009 for every eligible Canadians to save. Okay. You can hold this account You can hold qualified investment in it, like cash, stock, bond, mutual funds. You can withdraw your contribution at any time, even with the interest and dividend in, without any problem, and without paying taxes. Okay, it's a good thing, right? All right. But each year, the government of Canada determines the maximum amount you can contribute into that account. Okay, there's a catch. Sounds good, but it's limited. So that limit, which is a contribution limit, is something you need to be aware of, and you cannot exceed that limit. If not, you will be penalized, you see, and you'll be penalized and you will be asked to pay more than you even probably earn back. One good thing about tax-free savings account is that it is tax sheltered for your investment, which means that although you will, it's good that because you will continue to use your money for investment and it will be growing and you will not pay tax on it. So it's a good thing, tax sheltered. The contribution to your TFSA are not tax deductible for income purpose, which means that you will use after-tax income to open this account. So they are not tax deductible. The administration or other fees in relation to that tax-free savings account are not also tax deductible. So whether you pay the investment management fee or you pay any form of fee, or expenses when you are opening this account, it is not tax deductible. Okay, so what are the benefits? Well, there are quite some number of tremendous and wonderful benefits. One of them is the flexibility of this plan. Okay, and what does that mean? It means that it is very flexible because you can decide to invest short-term or long-term. So if I put my money there today, I can change my mind tomorrow and go and take the money back. Or I can leave it there for the next 50 years. So because of the flexibility, it can help you to reach your saving goals and you can withdraw your money when you need it. Okay, when you need it. Okay, so that is one advantage. The other advantage or benefit is your money is going tax-free. Okay, you don't pay any tax on any investment income you earn from your tax-free savings account, and you can hold various qualified investments like cash, stock, guaranteed investment certificate, and mutual fund. Okay, so at least you have some ample options there. Another benefit is at least you can, even though the money you can keep there and invest there and your investment are limited, you can use it as a retirement plan, right? Because you know that the money will actually be growing without any tax implication. Now, do you see that any vehicle which you can use to grow money and the money will not be taxed as the money is growing and it will continue to grow, compounded, don't forget, it will continue to grow. Do you see that that is where you should be keeping any money for retirement or long-term? That's exactly why the insured retirement plan and tax-free savings account share that same feature. Okay, the feature is you can keep your money there, it will be growing and there's no tax implication. Okay, making withdrawal is very, very easy. Okay, very, very easy. You don't need to pay any tax, you just, get in there and take your money out and use it for what you want to use it for. Okay, but there are some types. There is a type whereby you can deposit money into it. They call it the deposit, the TFSA. And what it means that you put your money there and then the money will be used for any investment purpose. The annuity program contract is the one that you put your money there. You invest the money, but you will be connecting the money as annuity, as in a future date, based on some agreement on how much they will be paying you. Okay, and you can also do what we call arrangement in trust. If you want to know more about these types and what is suitable for you, you have to book a consultation meeting, and we'll talk about it. Who can issue it? Okay, the good thing is that banks, chartered bank can issue it. Insurance and investment company can issue TFSA. Credit union can issue it. Trust companies can issue it. Which one is better for me? The answer is we can set up a meeting so that we will tell you. We will not tell you that go to the trust company, but we will tell you the pros and cons of each one. Okay, we are brokers, we are independent financial educators. We are not tied to any of this organization. Okay, so we will tell you exactly what are the pros and cons of doing it with the bank, what are the pros and cons of doing it with the credit union. If you want to do it with the credit union, you need to be a member of that credit union, or are you a member already? Then take advantage of it because they have a better rate and all that. So we will educate you about that. So type of investment, well, there is cash there, which means that you just simply put your cash into your TFSA. Mutual fund is a pool of funds that they use to invest in particular different sector or economy. Security listed on some designated stock exchange. If you want to know more, we can tell you. Guaranteed investment certificate, GICs, right? You can put them in government bonds and some certain shares of small business and corporations, right? So how do you open this account? Well, you can open it by simply contacting your financial institution or credit union or insurance company, or from your online banking platform or online access platform. All of them have some form of online platform where you can register and open the account. So what do you need to do when you are trying to open an account? You will need your SIM, okay? Your social insurance number is needed, your date of birth is needed, it must match so that you can register, and they can validate that you are qualified as well, okay? So who is eligible? So anybody in Canada is eligible. If you are a resident of Canada and you have a valid SIM and you are above the age of 18 years in Ontario, especially, or you are older, then you are eligible to open the TFSA. A lot of people ask, what about people that are non-residents? Yes, the good thing is that any individual that is non-resident of Canada that also have a valid SIM and who is 18 years of age or older is eligible to open the TFSA. But there is a little caveat to that. If you are a non-resident, you are subject to 1% tax for each month. Okay, so 1% taxes of what you had in your account is subject is what you'll be paying as taxes, right? So we have talked about the eligibility. Let's talk about some provinces and territory has legal age of 19 years, okay? Not 18 years, but in Ontario, it is 18 years of legal age. What are your limits? What are the limits we have, okay? If you look at this chart, you will observe that from 2009, okay, we have the year, the annual limit, and the total cumulative limit that you can have. So if you look at from 2009 here to 2012, you can contribute 5,000 every year. So if you are in Canada in 2009 and in Canada and up to 2012, you can contribute 5,000. So in 2013 and 2014, the contribution limit was 5,500. In 2015, 15, suddenly there was a contribution limit of 10,000. So each time when I do this presentation, I used to tell people, oh, thank God I was also already in Canada before then. So I was able to have a contribution of 10,000 just in a year. And the reason why we are lucky is that in 2006, 16, sorry, the government took back the annual limit to 5,500. Okay. And up to 2019 till date, the limit is now $6,000, right? So the total and maximum cumulative contribution you can have is 75,000. Over contribution. So let's say you contributed more than your limit in a year to your tax-free savings account. You know, a lot of people say it's a good investment vehicle. It is, it has a lot of the benefit that we are looking for, like Taxman Warren said. If possible, I don't want to pay tax, right? Of course, the government know that's why they said don't pay tax in this account. They know you like it, but there's a limit. Okay, you think the government doesn't know that you don't like it? They know, definitely. So tax-free savings account is subject to 1% month tax penalty. So what does that mean? That means that when you over-contribute your account, the amount you over-contributed will be taxed at 1% per month tax penalty. Can you imagine? The government penalty are always stringent. You know, they really sound like punishment. So, but it is to guide against breaking these important rules. So if you over-contribute 1,000 in a given year, guess what? You'll be paying a penalty of $10 a month, as long as the excess amount of money is still in your account. My question to you is, if you have this $10,000, 1,000 investment, how much is this 1,000 yielding you in a month? So look at that. Is it leading up to $10, right? So you have to watch that. So you don't want to over-contribute. That is the recommendation. So tax-free savings account withdrawal, you can generally withdraw this amount at any time, okay? Any day, okay? You just go there and say, hey, I want my money. When you are withdrawing funds from your TFSA, it doesn't reduce the amount of contribution you already have. So if you have that contribution already, then when you withdraw, it doesn't reduce your contribution. For example, if you have a contribution of, let's say 10,000 total in this year, okay, total of 10,000, and then you withdraw 2,000, you know, from this amount, then that money will be added to your contribution room the following year. So this year, you have 10,000 contribution room, you have removed 2,000. When you reach next year, your contribution room will be 10,000, or yes, 10,000 plus the next year contribution, which may be 5,000 or 6,000. Today is 6,000. Okay, so and withdrawals made from your TFSA in this year will only be added back in the TFSA contribution at the beginning of the next year. I think we already mentioned that. So finally, withdrawals are not taxed because TFSA are made from after-tax income. We explained that. You are using your after-tax income to contribute to your TFSA. So there is no tax to pay when those funds are used in a later date. Sounds amazing, right? But there is a limit to that amount that you can put there. And guess what? The limit is really, really stringent. Is almost, you know, 75,000 is not what you need for your retirement or for your savings, right? One of the reasons why it's good to sit down when we make our financial need analysis is that a lot of people don't understand the amount of money they need if they stop working. Do you agree with me, Tex?
Yeah.
So before I continue talking about that, this is our contact information. You know, if you need us any day at any time, we are part of Gemfm family. We will always be able to help you. So let me go back to what I want to say. Do you know that a lot of us, we don't know how much we need if we decide to say that What I want to do is I want to sit down home and I want to just spend money, right? So the reason why we don't understand is that we don't have the education that we need. The reason is that we don't understand what we call dependencies. We don't understand what it means for us to go out to work that every morning while our families are at home. They are depending on us. A lot of us send money to our parents. A lot of us take care of our old parents, take care of our family members. Guess what? If you are not able to take care of them very well any longer, let me ask you one question. Do you think they will suffer? They will miss that income? Yes. Do you think if they miss that income, do you think it can take some different events? Yes. That is exactly what happened. Let me give you an example. Today, if you have aged parents and you are taking care of them, and you decide, and for some reasons, they don't get that care anymore, do you think that they may try to say that they want to go and work? Absolutely, yes. I told you about my 78 years old dad, right? That could actually work faster than I am. Right? Yeah, I'm really telling you. Yeah. So
I'm gonna move in. I'm with him. 78, and he can walk faster than you. Okay, well, I throw you out, so I'm just
oh
moving
my God. Yeah, I'm serious. If we both walk the same distance, I'm sure that I will definitely be more, I will feel it the more. So what that means is that they are very used to it. There are people that will say, people that they will say that this is car, he has a car, but they want to, do something. They will say, no, let's walk, let's leave the car. I won't do that now, right? I won't. So the reason why I'm sharing that is that I'm just want us to understand that there are people that depends on us today, right? Let's say that man, is not able to get the financial resources he needs. He may decide, he may decide to say that, yeah, I want to go and work. So can you imagine a 77 or 78 years old man saying that he wants to go and do some form of job? He wants to go and work in Walmart, for example. That is how we should start thinking, right? These things are around us. Is just that yes, we have just been blindfolded with a lot of things. Okay, meaning that we are carried away with so many things that we don't really see the depth of what we should know. Your family needs you. You need to understand what you need. In case you cannot work and you are not able to work in a day, is there something that can replace your income? Right?
Stone.
So it's always a pleasure, Texban Warren. We appreciate the opportunity. I love to talk to Mr. John a lot because, oh my God, he has a very, very in-depth knowledge and philosophies about finance, and I respect that. He is already he's already there when it comes to understanding all those things. And when he says most of these things we are talking about, we can all improve. We are talking to ourselves. We can all make it better. I told you, I mentioned it last week about my house, my big house now that is not even enough for me because of there are so many things. I have screen projectors. I have a lot of things. I have music gadgets that I have never even used before. So what are the things we are supposed to do? We are supposed to be very, very conscious about, those background that we talk about, buying what we need, very, very important. You might sometimes think that you need them. Don't get me wrong. I thought, okay, I'm going to use it. I want to. But the problem is, assuming that I knew that the money then I need to put it in an investment and I have to, and I'm committed, I will put it there first before I divert the money. Okay. So let's keep the good faith. Let's continue to pray for each other. Let's continue to support each other. And I know that God will help us. He will grant us great help. On top of everything, if we are in the hospital, we don't even care about money. I hope you know that, right? You don't care. You don't care about at all. But we should really thank God for giving us great health, and we should use this opportunity to make a difference in our lives and our families. So thank you very much again, and we'll see you on Friday. Hopefully we will try to bring somebody, one of our partners, to come and talk about. That is what this show is for. Anything we want, we're gonna work towards it. We can talk about it, but because we are not currently expertise in that environment, we don't have anything. Just for you to know, personally, I don't have anything wrong with crypto, and I have invested in crypto before, right? And I have a lot of people. I have a lot of very people that invested in Bitcoin as well. And guess what? Every investment has its risk. It depends on your objective. It depends on your goal. So it's good just to be educated and know all the options.
Yep.
So Texman Warren, I don't feel like leaving you on this call. I guess we have to bring the show to an end, but I really appreciate you and what you're doing, and I pray that God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
And bless the family.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Timothy. And we come to the end of our scheduled program. And this is Timothy from Great Wave Finances and Tex Warren on Gemfm. We say bye-bye. Yes, see you guys at 2:30. I'm back here at 2:30 talking about, I'm not too sure what I'm talking about. I'm just going to leave it in the hands of God. And then he's going to say either switch or he's going to give a point. And then I'll go with that one. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.